So today we're going to focus a lot on our spines, as well as letting go of tension in the body, letting things move through us. So the first thing I want to workshop is our heel rocks. I feel like we did this last week, but we're going to do it again because it's important to revisit. This is one of the ones that I do all the time, like all the time. And sometimes I'll do it, I'll keep hitting it multiple times throughout. I know we did last week as well. So let's go ahead and get started on that. So we're gonna lay down on the floor on our backs. You can choose which way feels best for you. So this first way is with the feet planted on the floor. Yes, and using the feet to press into the floor and rock us back and forth. So I'm going to just press in and then I let go over and over and over again. And as I do that, my body rocks back and forth. Yeah, good. Good. So as you do that, and let's talk about the second way first. Okay, so then the second way is to have the legs straight. I push my toes away from me, and then I just release them, and that also rocks me back and forth. Good. Yeah, so as you're doing that, you'll notice you want to bring your arms off the ground, actually. So you can rest them on the chest like we did last week, or you can rest them on your face, or you can use them to kind of indicate where you want the motion to go. Yeah, so I'll kind of like draw right above my body, up out of my head. So you want to imagine that you're feeling this rocking, this fluid motion happening. Really pay attention to the back of the body. So let your quads go. Let your heart soften, the ribs soften. So you're going to feel that motion happening along the back of the body, along the spine, way, way back behind the heart. Along the back of the neck, you're going to release that jaw, release the tongue. Any tension that you might have in the face, let it go. So you feel that motion coming all the way out the crown of your head. Good. Good. All right. Yeah, so any questions on that? Okay, let's keep going. So that we're going to revisit again a couple times, or at least that sensation throughout class. Okay, we're going to break down one of these. This is a fun thing that I like to do. So we've done a lot of this, like diving with the head, reaching with the tail to come back up if you've been coming to class for a while. We're going to do a little different, little bit of a variation here. We're going to start sitting up. So I'm going to be in a seated place when I start this, because this is where we'll be coming from in our flow today. So I'm going to be sitting up here. I will have had my legs out. It's okay if they're bent, but you're going to be coming from here when we do our flow. Okay, so I'm going to be taking my head and I'm going to dive down to the ground. So I'm just going to look where I'm going and send myself down. And rather than moving right away, pulling ourselves back up into a seated place, we're going to do a little bit of like, I'm going to show you sitting up. So it's going to be kind of like a body half. This is a body half. Like I'm pulling my elbow and my knee towards each other, pulling my elbow and my knee towards each other. And I'm going to look towards the bent side as I go. You'll see. Okay. So I'm going to dive down with my head. I'm going to go this way. Okay. Yeah, here I am on the ground. I'm going to so if I were to keep going this way and pull my elbow and my knee towards each other. I'll show you the other side so you can see. I'm just gonna pull my elbow and my knee towards each other. It's not as big of a motion because I've got this forearm down, but this leg back here is straight. Yeah, so you just switch, and I switch, and I switch, okay? And then I'm gonna come back to like a neutral place. I'm gonna go back the way I came from. So I came from that way, I'm gonna go back that way. I'm gonna take this toe, this big toe, I'm gonna reach it up over. I'm gonna do it towards you next so you can see. And right now I'm rotating my leg to bring myself up. Okay, so if I show you this way, I dive down, right? And I keep going and I go, oh, my elbow and my knee together. And I'm looking, my elbow and my knee together. Elbow and my knee together. Yes. And I'm gonna show you what my toes do. This is the fun of teaching this way. So I'm gonna take this toe, reach it up, and I'm gonna take it this way. Here we go. Let me take my toe, reach it up and over. And then it's going that way. I'm gonna keep on sending it this way, and I'm gonna rotate, and that's gonna help me come up. Yes? And then I would go the other way. Reach, 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 reach. Yeah. Okay. So go ahead and try it out. I'll talk you through it as you're going. My pants are like picking up all the little lint from my floor. Okay. So you're going to be in a seated up place, and you're going to start by diving the head down towards the ground. You're just going to dive down to the side, send it out. Yep, so you can come onto your front, and then you're going to be, keep looking the way you were already going. Bring your elbow and the knee together on that side. Just a little towards each other, not going to be touching. Yeah, and then you're going to elbow and knee the other way. You notice that this side of your body gets like short on one side and long on the other. That's what we're really focusing on. Now you do it again. 3. And come back to a neutral place. You're going to go back the way you came from. So you're going to reach your toe up, across. Keep going. You can use your arms to help you. You're going to rotate that toe, the heel, and you're going to come back up. Ta-da! Good, now you're going to dive down the other direction. So go ahead and dive down the other way. Yeah? And then we're going to do 3 of those like looks. So taking the elbow and knee towards each other. 1, other side 2, other side 3. Good, then you're gonna come back the way you came from. Bring your toe back around behind you. And then rotate it to come up. Good. Yeah. So like I said, we want to keep our belly towards the ground here. And it's really just, I'm rotating my spine. I'm kind of looking this way, and as I do that, this side gets shorter. Yeah? And I'm supporting myself. My elbow and my hand are on the, not my elbow, my knee and my hand are on the ground, and my elbow's coming towards that knee. Then I'm just gonna switch. So you notice I switched my back. My back's moving. My back is moving. Okay, good. A lot about the spine. Okay, so then let's do a little bit of a crawl. So as we focus on spine again today, we're going to be doing like a regular crawling, like you crawl, but rather than thinking about like I'm going forward because I'm moving my hands and my legs, yeah, I'm going to think about reaching the crown of my head so far forward. Come down, tuck this in so you guys can see. what's going on in my spine. Okay, so I'm here. Nice little shape for that. I'm going to reach my head so far forward that I have to move my arms and my legs so I can keep going, right? I'm going to go forward a couple times. Then I'm going to reach my tail so far back that I have to move. So it's not about like regular crawling, we're thinking of this stuff, yeah? It's more, I'm thinking of this and this, and that's why the other things move. Okay, we'll do that a couple times, and then we'll come back to this neutral place. Then we're going to be sending this leg back. So you're going to send your right leg back. I'm thinking of the back of my leg and my heel. I'm going to send energy out it. Yeah. So you can have a couple options. You can stay down here with the ball of the foot down on the ground, reaching the heel back, and I'm sending energy out the crown of my head and energy out that heel. And obviously a lot of energy down into the ground. Okay. You can stay there, or you can bring it up. I'm flexing my foot, so I'm still sending energy out the heel. And I'm really thinking of the back of the leg. And then I'm going to bring it back down. Yeah. And then we would crawl again. So go ahead and try it out. So you're going to crawl forward because you're reaching your head so far forward. Then you're going to crawl back because you're reaching the tail so far back. You're sending it back, 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 back. Yeah, so go ahead and try. Move forward again. Crown of the head's reaching you forward, back, tail's reaching back. Okay, go ahead and come to a neutral place. And then you're going to send your left heel out away from the body. Really think of the back of the leg. Good, energy out the crown of the head. You can keep the ball of the foot on the ground, or you can lift the leg so that it's more level with the body, and just reach out, 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 out. And then you're going to come back into that neutral hands and knees place. Okay? Any questions? Good? Okay. We're going to do one more thing we're going to workshop through. And this is similar to, we've done a lot of openings and closings, right? On the big X, closing into a ball, opening back into the X, yeah, coming on door sides. If you've been coming to class, you're familiar with this one. We're going to be doing it a slightly different way today, right? We like to do variations on this. So it always starts the same. I will go into this position so you can see it. We always start the same. Coming onto the back. You're not gonna be able to see my whole body, and that's okay. Yeah. So I'm laying down on the ground, my legs are out. They're not like splayed really wide, yeah. I'm keeping them close together, though I'm allowing my natural rotation to happen, like my toes wanna just fall out, that's fine. It's more that I'm not taking them really wide, so that they're closer to the midline of the body. Okay, so that my core can activate them really easily. Arms are up. Things to watch for when your arms are lifted is if you're getting this like hard ribs and they're coming up away from the ground. Like my ribs are not touching the ground at all back here right now. It's just like my shoulder, the top of my shoulder blade. So if that's happening to you, think of softening down to the ground. Yes, you see the softening happening. Okay, if that is not happening, even if you think about it, you just bring your arms wider. Sometimes our shoulders get really tight and then we can't move our arms without like the whole rib cage going. Okay, so I'm gonna adjust because I'm like in the shelf by my kids' Legos. Okay, so here we are. And here, before I move, I'm gonna lay down. I'm gonna focus on my breath. I'm gonna feel my breath happening. My inhales, my exhales. I'm just gonna notice that. Feel the ground below me. Then I'm going to notice as I exhale. We talk about this every single week. As I exhale, I'm going to notice like, oh, hey, these muscles down here change. They're helping me breathe out. So it's not going to be like a really strong, forceful thing. But I can feel this change happening. I might feel like a little tug, a little suctioning feeling, or just like a little constricting in towards the center of the body. Okay? Notice what you feel down here as you breathe out. And when you're about 2/3 of the way empty, you're going to really feel that happening. So usually we feel that and we bring everything in at the same time. Today we're going to focus on upper body and lower body. So I'm going to come out here. I'm going to breathe out. And I'm going to send first my upper body. So it's going to be initiated or started from the same thing, this feeling. But I'm going to do just like a half. The top half of my X is going to curl. And then I'm going to feel, the more I'm going this way, that it's starting to pull on the rest of this body of mine. Yeah, I'm pulling it. So when I feel that I have to, in order to keep going, I have to bring the lower body along, I'll go. And I let the lower body come in. Then I'm in this ball. I'm going to send inhale. I feel my exhale. I feel that constriction. And then I feel my inhale is when I like to open up. I'm going to send my legs first. My legs are going. And then I'm going to feel like, oh yeah, they're connected. I have to open the rest of the body up. Okay, we'll do that on both sides. Then we're going to take it the other way, where I'm going to feel that breath. My legs go, and then I have to bring my arms in. Then I'm going to inhale, open up my top half. You can't see me very well. Open up my top half. And then my legs follow. Yes? So go ahead and try that out. First of all, come into your big X. Feel your big X shape. Yeah, find your legs in line with the hip joint. Like railroad tracks, they should be pretty parallel, even if their toes are tipping open. And then you're going to feel your arms. You're going to notice, like, hey, I can soften these ribs down towards the ground. Good. Yes. And if you need to, you can bring your arms wider. So you're going to feel yourself just staying here in this shape. You're going to breathe. Feel your inhales. Feel your exhales. Okay, you're going to notice, like, hey, when I'm breathing out, something changes down in there. I'm just going to only think about breathing out, and those muscles are going to change. I don't have to go like activate muscles. I just go breathe out, and it's like, oh, my body is so smart. It's already doing it, because that's how you breathe out. Yeah, so you're going to feel that. When you feel that tug, you're going to just close in your upper body. So that's arms and head. It's going to close in. And then when you're going to feel the tug on the rest of the body, you're going to feel it through the middle. You're going to let your legs and your tail come along. Yeah, keep going. You let your legs and your tail come in. Really nice. Take a breath here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to feel that constricting happening. Keep a hold of that feeling. You're going to inhale, open your legs out. Then you're going to feel them kind of tug on the upper body, and you're going to let your arms and your head open up into that X as well. Really nice. Good. Really nice. So you're going to take, since we're just practicing, we're going to do just the other side with the legs leading first. Yeah, so we're going to do the whole thing in the flow. So you're going to feel your breath. Here you are in your big X. Feel the ground below you. And you're going to feel about 2/3 of the way empty as you're exhaling, that tugging, that suctioning happening in the lower belly. You're going to let that lead your legs and your tail in towards your closed ball, curling them in to the side. And then when you feel that tug, you're going to let the upper body come in too. Good. Take a breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale, you're going to feel that change happen in the belly. You're going to keep hold of the feeling. Inhale, open up your arms and the head. And when you feel them tugging across the midline of the body, the midsection of the body, you let your legs open. Good. So just a reminder, looks really nice. You want to let the ground support you as much as possible. So keep, I think of my legs sweeping on the ground as much as possible. This is just because then you're using gravity in this way where it's helping you so that your core doesn't have to like lift anything, but it can just feel, oh yeah, my core can move these limbs of mine. Yeah, the lifting will come. It's like important. Yeah, so let me show you one more time. I'm gonna go farther away so you can see me. Here I am. I'm going to do just the arms closing first and then the legs opening. So this top arm is going to come off the ground. That's it. And when I'm opening back up, it goes back to the ground as soon as it can. But you see, I'm not like keeping it out here off the ground. I'm pulling it in because guess what? I'm actually trying to get it closer to my belly button. And then my legs come. Take a breath. Let me send my legs out. See, they're still on the ground. They're connecting to the ground the whole time. I'm just using my rotation to help me open up. Yeah. That way it's like so easy on the core and I can feel that connection without any heavy lifting work. Okay, any questions before we start? Awesome. Okay, we're going to start standing up today. Reminder, if you need music and you don't have it on, now would be a great time to start it as we're going to be getting into our flow. So as we stand here, and I do come in and out of it as I'm teaching. Yes. So you're going to just start standing up. I want you to just notice what your body needs. So adjust as you need, kind of play with the weight in your feet. You might take like, maybe your hands need to like touch your body somewhere to just help you feel present. I like to sometimes interlock my fingers and rest them on my top of my head. That helps me feel, because I've got pressure on both sides, right? I can feel the ground below my feet and I can feel this pressure on my head and I'm like, I'm here. I'm just gonna breathe. You decide if something else feels better for you, you're welcome to do that. Yeah, so feel your breath. Do what you need to do with your feet. This right here, we're just getting ourselves present, kind of diving in deeper within ourselves. We're going to follow the feeling, follow the sensation, and own our felt experience today. I'm not going to try to control our felt experience. We're going to let it be what it is. And we're going to observe it and learn from it. Good, because as we do that, we know what we need. This is how we show up for life and really show up. We don't fix anything, we just come. Yeah, we're here. Feel yourself breathe. Yeah, if you need your hands anywhere else, feel free to take them there. I'm just feeling the need to kind of sway and like tread through my feet. And I'm letting my back sway back and forth. So we're really noticing the ground below you. Notice how it feels to tread through each part of the foot. each part of the foot. What does it feel like when you let your knees bend with it? Yeah. What does it feel like when you let your hips drop, your tail? Like if you had a tail and you were letting it swing back and forth. Feel the weight of your tail. Good. And come more to a still place. And the feet coming parallel to one another. Feel that. You might bounce the knees a couple times. So whenever I do that, I check right here, right where my hip and femur meet, where my pelvis and my femur meet, right here. And I'm letting my tail be out and free. So a lot of times we tuck our tails under, because that's how we sit all the time. We're gonna let it come back and like be open. Imagine your sits bones pulling away from each other, like open back here. Might feel different, yeah, and then I bounce and I feel like that is really open. My tail is free. And I'm gonna push both legs into the ground equally to come into a standing place. Good, inhale, bring your arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them back down. Inhale, bring arms up. Exhale, back down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, as you exhale, keep your arms up. You're going to bend at the hip and the knees into like a yoga chair pose. Yeah, so I'm coming into Ardha Utkatasana, which is like getting the torso as close to parallel to the ground as you can. Feel that heat in your legs. Feel your spine lengthening out both directions. Good, and then you're just going to let your head drop down towards the ground. And take about 3 rounds of breath to roll up nice and slowly. Good. In that standing place. Once again, just kind of swaying and kind of like if you could touch the ceiling, if it was really low, you're just kind of brushing your fingers along the top of it. Yeah. Feel what it's like to feel your fingers, to feel alive all the way up the ends of the arms. Coming more still. Good. And then the way that feels best for you, you're going to come into a seated place. I like to take a squat. And I like to pause here. Go ahead and let your heels come off the ground and balance. Good, and then coming to the ground, so you should be sitting. Good. In this seated place, you're just going to check in with yourself. We're gonna be doing that a lot today. Checking in, being still in moments of our movement practice. Each breath. Soften. So remember how we did our heel rocks? We're kind of clearing the path. Feel that same sense of ease even here as you're sitting and breathing. Notice your body. Are you letting the ground hold you completely? So a lot of times people grip their thighs or their hips without even noticing that we're doing it. So check in and go, what's going on? If you are tightening anywhere, let it go. Yeah, let it go. Good. From here, we're just going to stretch the side of the body. So you're just going to bring one arm up over the top. You can't see mine, but I'm reaching my fingertips way up high, kind of on a diagonal away from my hip. Yeah. You can take your gaze forward, or you can lift it to the hand, whichever way feels best for your body. They're going to be different. Feel that side lengthening. Good. And as you inhale, come up. And exhale, we're just going to go the other way. Good. As you inhale, come up. And as you exhale, we're going to come onto all fours. I like to come straight forward. You can also bring your hips to this side and come up to all fours. So we're going to take that little crawling that we've done before. So you're going to come into all fours. You're going to reach your head so far forward that you start to move forward. So reach the head forward. You're going to feel that length in the spine, that nice stable spine. Reaching it out until you just go forward. You crawl forward a few steps. Yeah, and then you're going to notice the back of your spine, your tail. You're going to reach it so far back that you start to go backwards. You start to crawl backwards. Yes, keep going. Reach the tail way, way, way back. Good. You're going to crawl forward by sending your crown of your head forward, forward, forward. So we connected the space around us. Yeah, movement isn't just an internal thing. It's like sending ourselves out somewhere with intention. Yeah, and then you're going to send your tail so far back. You're going to go back. Good. Then you're going to come to a neutral spine. You're going to feel your shoulders are right over your wrists. Your arms are strong in the ground. I'm not going there so I can talk to you easier. Okay. Then you're going to send your right leg back. So you're going to think of the back of your leg lengthening and sending energy out the heel. So now you're sending out the energy out the crown of the head still and out that right heel. Feel that whole line. Wow, it's so strong. You can keep the ball of the foot on the ground, or you can lift the leg. Maybe it's going to even come parallel and be in line with the back. Feel yourself push into the ground, strong. Feel that length, the whole length of the body from the crown of the head to that heel. Good. Then you're just going to slowly reverse that. Come back onto all fours. We're going to crawl again. Send your energy out of your crown of your head so much that you start to crawl forward. Good, and then you're going to send energy out the tail so much you're going to intend to go so far back with the tail that you have to move. Again, I'm going to go forward, out the crown of the head, and then you're going to send that tail back. Yeah, nice different way of thinking inside the body. You come to a neutral place. Check to be sure that your shoulders are right over your wrists. Press the hands into the ground. Yeah, feel that strength. You're going to send your left leg back. So you're going to lengthen the back of your left leg out and send energy out that left heel. The balls of the foot can stay on the ground. Feel that strength. Or you can lift that leg up so that it is level with the whole back. Feel the energy from that line of the crown of your head all the way along the back, out the back of the leg, out the heel. Press into the ground. Feel yourself lengthening in both directions. Feel your breath. Really nice. Come back onto all fours and go ahead and just sit back into a child's pose. Take a breath. You might kind of wiggle your tail back and forth a little in this child's pose. I'm not going into it so I can talk to you. You wiggle your tail a little. And then go ahead and wiggle the crown of your head just a little. Yeah, let the rest of the spine respond as it wants. Come still, feel your breath. Come back onto all fours. So in this place on all fours, we're just going to be exploring the spine. We did not workshop this because you're just going to explore. So I'm on all fours, my shoulders are over my wrists, and I'm just going to move the crown of my head and my tail as I want to. Yeah. Just explore all the ways that you can move this spine of yours. Yeah. So it might be circular motions, maybe like a windshield wiper, maybe a cat and cow, maybe all of it. Yeah, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Good. And then we're going to be coming back into a seated place. Back into a seated place. Checking in with the body. Wherever you need to put your hands, remind yourself to be here, to show up, to not control. Be here, be here, be here. With ease. Just as easy as if you were rocking back and forth. You can feel your breath just flowing through the body freely. Good. From here, go ahead and straighten the legs out in front of you and just fold forward towards the toes. So rather than thinking of going down toward the legs, send your belly button forward, your chest forward, the crown of the head forward. So we're reaching this way towards the toes rather than just going down. Yes. It can be as intense or not as you want it to be. You're in charge of that. Feel your breath wherever you are. Feel yourself there. Notice what your spine is doing. Lengthen out both ends of the spine. Good. From here, we're slowly going to sit up. Good. We're going to be taking that diving exercise that we worked on, okay? So you're going to be sitting up, you're gonna dive down towards the floor, and you're gonna keep going so that you can look at your hand, your elbow and your knee, yeah, coming towards each other. You're gonna do one, then you're gonna look around the other way, 2, you're gonna look around the other way, 3, you're gonna go back to a neutral place. You're gonna take the toe up over the top. You're gonna go back the way you came. So I'm reaching my toe back to where I came. I'm gonna rotate it to come up. And I'm gonna go dive down the other way. Keep looking the way you were. You're going to look towards your knee on that one side. 1, 2, look the other way. 3, look the other way. Come back to a neutral place. Take your toe up, over, rotate. Really nice. Good. Sitting up, we're just gonna go ahead and come all the way down to the ground. Feel yourself there and come into a big X. Feel your breath. Good. Check your legs, be sure you're not too wide. So they're in line with the hips. And before we do our opening and closing, let's go ahead and do a heel rock. So You can take your arms wherever you need. They can be on the chest, on your face. You can use them to help kind of feel that motion. You're going to rock the heels. If you need to bend the knees, you can. And plant the feet, whichever heel rock version you like. You're going to rock and check in. Soften the thighs. Feel the motion going way along the back of the body, way back behind the heart. Soften the jaw. Soften your tongue. Soften your face. Feel that motion. Allow itself to come all the way up out the crown of the head. Yeah, you're just like a container of water sloshing back and forth. No tension. If you need to pause, you can. You're going to come back to it. Pause as much as you need. And then you'll come back to that rocking motion. Soften more. Can you let go more? Can you let the ground hold you more? Can you let that motion through you more? So we're not forcing, it is an allowing. Allowing is such a hard thing to relearn sometimes because we have our agenda and we feel like we know the best way. What if we just allowed something to happen through us? Soften, let go. Good. Good, and become more still once again, coming into your big X shape. Yeah, check the ribs, be sure they're still soft. If you need to widen the arms out more to soften the ribs, go for it. And we're going to be doing our upper lower big X. So you're going to feel your breath. And as you exhale, you're going to close your upper body in towards your right side into a little ball. Yeah, as much as you can. And then when you feel that you have to bring the lower body along, allow it to come. Upper body closes, lower body joins in. Feel a breath. Good, and then the initiation is going to start in your core still. You're going to inhale, send your legs out back into the X shape. When they're pulling on the rest of the body, let it open out. Take this on the other side. Be sure your legs don't get too wide. Yeah, go ahead and close your upper body. Follow your breath, closing the upper body and towards your left side. When they pull, when it pulls on the legs, let them close. Then you're going to send your legs out. And we're sending the legs out. We're going to feel that the upper body has to come along eventually. And we let them open. Good. Take a breath here. Notice how that feels. It's a different way of being in the body. Good. Now go ahead and close your legs first. The lower body, legs and tail. Closing in towards the ball. And then when you need to, bring your upper body and let it close in too. Feel your breath. Feel the ground supporting you. And then you're going to inhale, open up the upper body. Open the upper body. And then when it needs to, when the legs have to come along, let them come. Open out to your X. Be sure the legs aren't too wide. Then we're going to, once again, close the legs first, right? Pulling the legs in towards your left side. When the upper body has to come, then you let it come in. Curl into that little ball. When you're ready, your upper body's going to open. And you're going to feel you have to let the legs come. The legs will open back up too. Go from here. Go ahead and take your heel rocks once again. The knees can be bent, feet planted, or you can have the legs down on the ground. Soften. Let that motion go through you. It doesn't have to be big. Allow it to happen. Soften and let go. You learn to to show up in a different way as we do this. Show up with more ease, more trust. Good, and slowly come more still. More still. And in the way that feels best for you, you're going to bring yourself up into a seated place. Coming into that seated place. Feel your breath supporting you as you move, coming into a seated place. And take your hands where you would like them today as we do our meditations. So a couple options for you. You can just rest the hands in the lap, on the knees. You can have them on the body. Or I like to, I think we did this last week, one hand on the heart, one hand lifted up, the palm is up. Yeah, and you can switch whenever you want. You just say, you're going to feel yourself breathe wherever you are. Okay, check in. Are you gripping, holding on? Let go, let go, let go, let go. Let the ground hold you here. Let the ground hold you. The image, we're holding on to this like ease with the spine today. So imagine the head is like a balloon, okay, and the spine is that little string of the balloon, and it's just barely tied down to the ground so the balloon won't float away. But there's this ease with being upright, and you're allowing yourself, your body to sway or move as it needs. Okay, we're not rigid. Just a breath and ease. But the head is so light, reaching towards the heavens. So light, but you're also anchored down to the ground. Can you feel that? Yeah, they feel like opposing things. There's so much strength in that. Ease with being upright, with the letting the ground hold you. Let go if you're gripping in the thighs or the hips at all. Let the ground hold you. Let go. Go ahead and count your inhales and count your exhales. Maybe a 4 or 5 or a 6 count rhythm. Allow your inhales and your exhales to be the same length. Lengthen the breath, deepen it, keep it even. Feel that steadiness. Check to be sure you're not gripping your legs. Let go. Good. And we're just going to sit here and breathe, and you can let go of your control of the breath. If it feels safe for you, you'll close your eyes if you haven't already. If not, just taking a soft gaze just in front of you. I will be reading something from a book by Brianna Wiest. Okay. She says, "It is not brave to say you love your body only after you've contorted it to precisely what you want it to look like. It is not that brave to say you don't care about possessions when you have access to everything in the world. It is not that brave to say you aren't motivated by money when you have enough of it. When you only find happiness and peace after you've fixed every flaw, mastered every challenge, and are living decidedly in the after part of the picture of your life, you have not resolved anything. You have only reinforced the idea that you cannot be okay until everything is perfect. The truth is that you do not change your life when you fix every piece and call that healing. You change your life when you start showing up exactly as you are. Notice how that resonates in your body, how it hit you. Stay with yourself as you breathe. You're welcome to stay in a seated place if this is where you want to end your class today, or you can lay down on the ground, whatever feels best for you. Be still. Let go. Show up right now in this moment with ease. Trusting the ground to hold you, trusting your breath, trusting your worth. Be still. Feel your breath, placing more emphasis on your inhales. If you're laying down, you can, or sitting up even, you can take small motions, wiggling the fingers, the toes. You might just gently move in the spine. And with an affirmation today, I show up exactly as I am. Go ahead and say that to yourself. I show up exactly as I am. This is where healing and change begins. All right, thank you so much for joining today. We just like to take, at the end of class, take our hands, ground it. Good work today. Thanks for coming along.